Thanks for coming. Today is a very exciting day. I'd like to say this, and this is probably for everyone who's watching, it's edification, and maybe for yourselves, that the excitement of this day is for you all, more so than it is for us. That if done correctly, today is a matter-of-fact day. That there are no surprises. We know who's going to be in the family. We've known who's going to be in the family for an extended period of time. We've been happy about this forever. It is a culmination of months, and in some cases years of hard work by our staff. Have done a great job. But today's a little anticlimactic from the personal point of view because we've known for a while. But for you, this is the first legal glimpse that you get at our future. And for the young ones in the back who even are students here, you get a chance to see the alums, or the future alums that will someday represent your diploma. It's kind of cool. So, glad to have them. There's a lot to say about each and every one of them. What do you want to know?
Overall, you've accomplished what you set out to accomplish in this class.
Oh yeah, of course. I would also wager a bet that there's not a guy in America sitting up here doing what I'm doing right now that's going to say no. Everybody's going to ask, how do I like these guys? And I don't think there's a dude in America that's going, you know what, we should not have recruited them. No, we love these guys, seriously. They are, in their athletic abilities, each and every one of these guys has potential to make us a better football team. And that carries weight well beyond just the football program. Each and every one of these guys is excited about not only getting a diploma, getting a degree, but getting it from here. And from all the vetting we've done, we believe that each and every one of these guys are going to well represent the institution while they're here and when they're gone from here. And those are pretty great things to have in a football program. And most importantly, once you get through all that, the one thing that all these guys have in common is none of them ended up here. This is exactly where they wanted to be. They chose us over tons and tons of other schools because they saw the glimpse of their future as grown from the standpoint of being a student at Towson University. And that's what probably pleases me the most.
Along those same lines of they chose us, the geographic map of where you went this year, was there still a much higher recognition of what Towson has accomplished?
Oh God,
yeah. It's going?
The map, the footprint that you see based on the recruits that we signed is big. It's broad, but it's not nearly as broad as the area of which we covered to get to this. My personal best recruiting story is what the world believes we are now. I flew to Dallas to go see one of our guys, and because of flight delays, I didn't get in until really, really late. I went to the desk at one of the local Marriotts. It's right near the hotel. And there was a young man that was helping me get me my room, and as he was doing it, an elderly woman in her late 60s who clearly worked behind the desk stopped him.
I'm in my mid-60s.
I'm not saying you're old, dude. Stopped him and said, no, we're putting him on the concierge floor. And I thought she just knew that I'd stayed at so many Marriotts that, of course, that's where I should be, you know, per their policies. And she looks at me and she goes, I know you. You've been here before. And the kid looks at me and I look at her and I'm like, I'm sorry, ma'am. I've never stayed in this hotel before, I promise. She said, no. You were here before. You were in Dallas. You're the head football coach at Towson University. I was wearing no clothes, no logos, no ring, no nothing. She said, we know our football here in Texas. We know good football teams. I can guarantee you when I took this job, however many years ago it was, that would not have happened.
And you got a kid from Frisco, right?
What's that? And we got a kid from Frisco. This is true. Nothing like having dinner and 8-iron away from the stadium that we're going back to.
A guy like Ryan Stover, is the quarterback position just something that can't be given to a true freshman, given his size and athleticism? I know you want younger guys far away from the ball, but 6'4", with that kind of speed, he's able to turn the corner. Does that help his case at all?
Sure, of course. I mean, if you remember, the Peter Athens started as a freshman here way back when, before he got hurt. Best guy plays always, and Ryan knows that he has the ability to play here and be successful here. As to when, we'll see. He's got to grasp a playbook, which in itself is challenging. It's an NFL mentality. It's an NFL verbiage thing that's not for the weak. And the transition from high school to college athletically, socially, academically, as difficult as it is. Then you want to throw in a playbook that in some cases is like English as a second language. So we'll see. We'll see.
Is that a father-son? He played for head coach Brett Stover. Is that
He
his
played
father?
for his father.
And what advantages have you seen Matt bring to the table?
Well, you're looking at it. No, seriously. As a kid who grew up in the house where football is the air that you breathe, that I jokingly say people spend hundreds of dollars a year to go to clinics as coaches to learn what I knew when I was 8. And not because I was trying to learn it, it's just what I lived. So coaches' sons tend to see the game differently. They tend to see the locker room differently. Their interactions with coaches are differently. Their perspective on the game is a coach-esque perspective. You want that from the position of quarterback in general. But having that from a coach's son, it's big.
Coach's father, how active was he in the recruiting and asking you questions and trying to assure that his son would be in the right place?
Very active. But as most coaches are, we have pretty intense BS meters. And he figured out in a heartbeat who the guys were that were worthy of discussing his son's future and who weren't, who were the used car salesmen and who weren't. And, you know, I'm very fond of saying any kid or parent who is excited about the used car salesman mentality of recruiting probably won't do very well in our program. That's more about fluff than it is about substance. And this family is down to earth. And, you know, the kid's obviously very, very impressive, you know, in high school. My brother recruited him, did a great job. And I think my brother being the son of a coach, me being the son of a coach, Ryan being the son of a coach, and all of us having our degree of success in that, I think there was a bond there that started very early and just continued to the end.
Yeah, describe Jared's role overall in the recruiting process. It almost seems like he's the head guy when it comes to sounding off every time a new recruit comes in. You usually hear Jared Ambrose's name attached to it.
There's a couple pillars to the program. My guys are good. They've been here for a long time. They know how we do things, more importantly, why we do things. And so each and every one of them is bringing that consistency to everything we do. But when it comes down to the pillar part and the vetting in the end, you know, the guys like Jared, John Dahlquist, Jeremy Pick, those are the ones, Matt Hackman, those are the ones that are with me all the time. And in the colander vetting to make sure, those are the ones. And Jared's done a really, really good job. The higher he's gone up in the food chain, the better he's done, which is what you want to see out of your staff. It's also what you want to see out of your brother.
The obvious question is, Ryan Stover probably coming in June or July, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Who's coming in the spring?
Who's coming in the spring? Well, drop ed ends on Friday, okay, thanks to the snow. Right now you got, what's on that list, 14? You know, clearly there will be more than 14 players from this class that show up to camp in the summer. And there will clearly be players to be named later, so some of which I can't say because NCAA rules, some of which I will be able to say in the near future based on time changes and stuff like that. But now, is there any quarterback that will be on campus in the spring? Is that what you asked me? No.
Other than the 3 you have.
There will not, yeah. Who is here right now is who will be here for the spring. I'm answering that question 100% correctly based on the timetable I was given for that question.
You also had a big change in coaching staff, I guess a couple weeks before.
Mm-hmm.
Did that have any effect?
No. Reno, the good news is because of the way we recruit, because of the way that we don't do it like everybody else, that this was 99% done first weekend in December. And so there was nothing holding on or, you know, worrying about anything like that. And, you know, it's a testament to what Reno did as the recruiting coordinator. But the fact that we had planned it out this way, it was really like, we wish him the best. He's going to do a great job there. But, you know, we were texting back and forth today about, I'm thanking him for what he's done in the years past that allows us to be where we are today.
For the coordinator to be named on the staff, we have to hire somebody outside.
Good question. Don't know. I've given the guys on the staff opportunity to interview for the job of recruiting coordinator should they wish. And that job will be posted here pretty soon, and we'll have a discussion about who that will be later.
Rob, last year, I apologize, I don't remember the names, but you had 1 or 2 of the 14 this year that you sort of bragged about, we beat out some really high-level talent, high-level teams.
So who's on this list?
Does this list contain a couple of those?
Okay,
guys?
yeah. And the funny thing is, it's like who you recruit against. If you go back to when I take the job in 2009, we were recruiting against our conference. More times than not, we were getting beat by most of our conference in recruiting. We're now in a position that we barely ever recruit against our conference. That seriously, JMU gives us a run for money, Delaware gives us a run for money. On occasion, some other schools will be involved, but now we recruit against MAC schools, Conference USA schools, Sun Belt schools, and that's the norm. Like, of all these kids, I don't think there's a kid on that list that didn't have at least one 1A offer. And these guys are starting to figure out that what the program's made of is more important than what the program looks like, so to speak. We've actually put it in a position where the program looks prettier, but